guide his people to secure their future. And Lord, through us Ugandans, your will was done. For like it is said, the voice of the people is the voice of God. Ugandans did not kick away the canoe which helped them to cross the river. And thus, Lord, we are here to celebrate your will. Our people say, when the roots are deep, there is no need to fear the wind. Your Excellency, President Museveni, your leadership roots go deep, deep, deep. Muzei, you have taken Uganda through the darkest nights. Therefore, fellow Ugandans, no wind will destabilize this land. The journey to socio-economic transformation, the journey to prosperity and peace, is a million-year march. Today, the country pauses to reflect on the 5-year speech of this long journey. The history of the human race is filled with intense tragedy and extraordinary inspiration. We are capable of building communities, nations, and civilizations that nurture, transform, and empower. But unfortunately, we are also capable of sustaining insecurity, poverty, disaster, and distress. It all depends on the shepherd at that time, the leader at that time. At a time of great challenges coming from the world and humanity, like HIV, AIDS, Ebola, COVID-19, locusts, floating islands, rising water levels, destruction of the environment, erosion of values, and unprecedented hate speech worldwide. We are here today to celebrate a shepherd who is willing to lead his people to a shared prosperity. A shepherd, easy in manner, yet solid as steel. A leader who God gifted with rare, elastic patience. And as John Kabat-Zinn said, patience is a form of wisdom. It demonstrates that we understand and accept the fact that sometimes things must unfold in their own times. He positively changed the course of Uganda's history. He wrote a new chapter for the women of Uganda, the women who never featured as an item on the national agenda, the women who were any other business, if at all, on the national grid, the women who are now on a visible and on a steady road to meaningful, not cosmetic empowerment. A leader who is always striving to give the youth a good livelihood, focusing on job creation through a myriad of projects. To date, children of universal primary education sit in the August House. President Museveni has given a voice to the elderly and the disabled. The women, the youth, and the disabled now have a voice in Parliament. We are celebrating a human being, not an angel. Did you hear me call him an angel? No. But it is right and fitting to call him an exceptional, exemplary leader. Here is a great Pan-Africanist, a man who never opens his mouth without mentioning how crucial it is for Africa to unite, for East Africa to unite, so that we can have a strong bargaining power and a strong market for our products. We are celebrating a leadership which talks and practices peaceful conflict resolution, a leader who has been instrumental in building regional and continental bridges of peace. He sent emissaries to grind millet, not to break the grinding stone. A leader, sower of mustard seed of stability, which has now grown into a huge oak tree, giving shelter to all Ugandans. He offered an olive branch and amnesty to those who fought to destabilize the country. And he has always embraced a broad-based outlook in government formation. A leader who always calls on board all Ugandans, irrespective of whether they have voted for him or not. A leader who knows that authority comes from God. God has a place in his life and calling. A leader whose rib, his better half, the First Lady, Honorable Janet Kataha Museveni, is God-fearing, cool, measured, knowledgeable, is always by his side as an anchor. The rib herself, a leader in her own right, giving testimony to the biblical, he who finds a good wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. Seated at the helm of power are these two children of the Christian revival movement, both walking the talk. Like Abraham Lincoln put it, I walk slowly, but I never walk backward. There are still some gaps and challenges in so many areas, but this leadership has taken an appreciable giant stride. Today, you can travel on tarmac from the most southern tip to the most northern tip in the country. The country is connected. The oil pipeline running from Uganda to Tanzania is on course. Our land of Canaan is in sight. The story of national resistance movement achievements is too long to be condensed in a few lines. Today and always, Uganda's story must be told. Africa has the opportunity to reposition herself as the cradle of transformation, innovation, and peace. Your Excellency, President Museveni, Ladit Lobo, Omukulembeze, Kiongozi, Omwebembezi, Afande, Mzee. May this time be one inspired by African aspirations and our value systems of integrity, transparency, honesty, unity, and the spirit of Ubuntu. We are the people of the Great Lakes and the cradle of Africa. We are the leaders of our own transformation and will inspire the world for a unified, secure future. For God and my country. This poem was written by Honorable Mary Karoro Okurut. Thank you.
Thank you, Esther, for that wonderful poem. And I want to invite crane performers to give us one vibe as we tend towards the end of our function. Great performance, that is enough. Great performance, that is enough, please. Let's all stand. Let's all stand to singing the national anthems in a reverse order. But departure will also be in a reverse order. His Excellency the President will first see off his guests in the following order. We shall start from DRC, followed by Kenya, followed by Guinea, South Sudan, Namibia, Ethiopia, Ghana, Somalia, Zimbabwe, Burundi, Tanzania, and Gabon. Anthems, please. Thank you. As I've said, the President will see off his guests in the following order: DRC, to be followed by Kenya, Guinea, South Sudan, Namibia, Ethiopia, Ghana, Somalia, Zimbabwe, Burundi, Tanzania, and Gabon, in that order.
Music, can you stop? Can you, with the indulgence of His Excellency the President, the band is required beating of the retreat for just a few minutes before he sees off his visitors. The band, can we have beating of the retreat before His Excellency sees off his visitors? With the indulgence of the President, we've been advised that the band, can you have a stop? The band, can you have the stop such that the President can see off the visitors? The band.
Term of 5 years as President of the Republic of Uganda. different countries have been represented here. From what we had the president tell us, we have about 32 countries that have been represented here. Those that had their heads of states come on, and of course those that had representatives representing their different heads of states here today for this particular event and occasion. My sister Anna Mwasioke from TBC is with me here to also give you some Kiswahili commentary.
Asante sana Jagenda, mtazamaji wa TBC1 na mtazamaji wa UBC TV. Shughuli ndio inaelekea ukingoni hivi sasa, na kwa mujibu wa muongozaji wa hii shughuli, hivi sasa viongozi mbalimbali wa nchi wanatoka katika viwanja hivi vya Kalolo, sehemu ambayo shughuli imefanyika. Na nikwambie tu shughuli hii imehudhuriwa na viongozi wakuu wa nchi zaidi ya 30. Wapo viongozi wakuu wa nchi na wale ambao wamewakilishwa na viongozi wakuu wa nchi hapa katika eneo hili kutoka mataifa mbalimbali ya Afrika. Vile vile mtazamaji wa TBC1, nikwambie takriban watu 1500 wapo hapa katika uwanja huu, na walikuwa wakishuhudia moja kwa moja shughuli ambayo ilikuwa ikiendelea hapa. Na Rais Yoweri Kaguta Museveni mara baada ya kuapishwa na kukwagua gwaride alipata fursa ya kuzungumza hapa, kuhutubia umma wa wana Uganda na wana Afrika kwa ujumla, kwa sababu yeye ni mwanamajumui kweli kweli wa Afrika. Amezungumza mengi katika hotuba yake, hususan uchumi wa Uganda, ila kikubwa ambacho amekizungumza kwa manufaa ya Afrika nzima, amesema Afrika inatakiwa kusimama imara ili iweze kujikomboa yenyewe. Afrika inatakiwa kuonesha kwamba ina nguvu ili kuweza kupata uchumi imara wa Afrika bila kumtegemea mtu yeyote yule. Amezungumza kuhusu uzalishaji katika maeneo mbalimbali ya Afrika, ikiwa ni pamoja na kilimo na vinginevyo, akisema Afrika inabidi iunganishe nguvu pamoja. Nchi moja peke yake hata ikizalisha kiasi cha kutosha, soko litapatikana wapi? Alikuwa akizungumza hayo Rais Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, na kutoa historia ya namna gani waasisi mbalimbali wa bara la Afrika walivyopambana kutamani Afrika iwe moja. Tukio ambalo unalitazama hivi sasa mtazamaji wa TBC1 na UBC TV ni kuondoka kwa viongozi mbalimbali wakuu wa nchi na wale ambao wamewawakilisha wakuu wa nchi katika eneo hili, huku bendera mbalimbali ukizitazama pia zikiendelea kupepea, ikiwa ni ishara ya nchi ambazo zimewakilishwa hapa na viongozi. Rais Samia Suluhu Hassan ni miongoni mwa wale ambao wamehudhuria hapa, na utakumbuka hata katika ngonjera ambayo imesomwa hapa na mjukuu wa Okello alizungumza kuhusu ushirikiano wa Tanzania na Uganda ulivyo katika swala zima la ujenzi wa bomba la mafuta. Alipata fursa ya kutaja hayo, na hapa bendi inaendelea kutumbuiza katika uwanja huu ambako kumefanyika hafla hii muhimu kabisa kwa Afrika, sherehe zikiwa zinaelekea ukingoni. Alama muhimu kwa Rais Yoweri Kaguta Museveni ambaye ameanza kipindi kingine cha uongozi wake, ikiwa ni miaka mingine mitano kuanzia mwaka 2021 mpaka 2026, akikabidhiwa nguzo mbalimbali muhimu za kuendelea kuongoza Uganda. Mtazamaji wa TBC1 pamoja na UBC TV tunashirikiana vizuri kwa karibu kabisa na wenzetu kutoka hapa UBC TV. Nimkabidhi sasa mtangazaji mwenzangu Jagenda apate fursa ya kuzungumza na watu mbalimbali kuhusu namna ambavyo wametazama na kushuhudia tukio hili la kuapishwa kwa Rais Yoweri Kaguta Museveni wa Uganda, mwanamajumui na mwanamwema wa Afrika. Jagenda, tafadhali endelea kuzungumza na wadau mbalimbali pamoja na viongozi mbalimbali kuhusu tukio hili kubwa la kuapishwa kwa Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
Asante sana dada Anna Mwasioke from TBC in Tanzania. Of course, here is where we are today. It's been a very lovely day, very lovely event. Surprisingly, it's been raining for these days, just as you heard the Minister for Presidency there talk about it. Now with me here is Honorable Helena Doa, Minister here for State for Fisheries. Honorable Minister, happy to have you here, and just passing comments from you. How have you seen this day, and what is that that you really so as very eye-catching or ear-catching?
First of all, congratulations to His Excellency the President and for the wonderful function. What is very important that I picked here, to me, who is a Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, is the issue of election is over, let's go for agriculture. And we don't need to have agriculture for only eating, but we should have agriculture for also supporting us and our families. That is what is very important now. The president has been sworn in. Let's put every politics aside and go for agriculture. That is very important.
Do we hope that it's not just going to be a slogan hearing this time, but real work, and that will mean business and do things that the president has just talked about here?
This is going to be serious, and I'm sure, believing that if I stay in that docket, we are going to make things move and change. We want to see people use agriculture not only for eating, but also for commercial purposes. Okay. That will change our country.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Honorable Adoa. Thank you so much. Honorable Helen Adoa is our State Minister for Agriculture and Fisheries. And of course, you heard the President here talk about agriculture as one of those. Now, to just let you know that some of the visiting presidents here, of course, we had the President of Ethiopia. Not so many people know the President of Ethiopia. The President of Ethiopia is a woman, and she is actually the first to hold that portfolio as the President in there. She was voted into office as President of Ethiopia in 2018, and she is one of the most very powerful women in the world, according to the Forbes magazine. She's also been here visited. You heard the president talk about President Nana Akufo-Addo of the NPP in Ghana. Now, President Nana Akufo-Addo has never come to Uganda. It is his very first time to visit and come here in Uganda. All of them are very welcome and just loved the environment in here as we continue to be part of the celebrations here. His Excellency the President made a very moving speech, which we all heard very audibly, and we only pray and want to give him support that everything, as he says it there, should be to the glory of Uganda, the region, and of course Africa, especially to we who think Pan-Africanism and of course all the things. Let me also have the opportunity to talk to the Secretary General of the National Resistance Movement, Honorable Justice Kasule Lumumba, here with us. Honorable Justice Kasule Lumumba, you're Justin Kasule Lumumba, you're finally here. We knew Ntitajja Kulaida, or we had said Ntitajja Kulaida. Now that Amazo Kulaida, promise us 2021-2026.
Like you've heard from him in strong language, the issue is fighting poverty, making sure and endeavoring all Ugandans, together with their leaders, work together to enter the money economy. We worked hard the term that has ended, and we didn't succeed because Ugandans we were able to get to $900. Now we want to enter into the middle income and get to $1,200. So it is the responsibility of all of us, and that's why we have decided to take it to the lowest level, which is the parish level, so that service delivery is at that level to make sure that we can account for all households in terms of their land holding, but also what are they producing, and is it economical? Does it solve the issue of giving them income enough to take care of themselves but also have savings? So it is our responsibility to make sure we fight corruption, stealing of drugs, taking advantage of the technology that we have, and also investing in the different sectors, agriculture, industrialization. We must have zonal industrial parks, but also encourage the private sector. Instead of importing, government should protect certain industries so that people put money together when government has done a feasibility study to guide them on what to invest and how much to invest, so that we don't have to import if our people can locally put resources together to be able to invest in a particular sector. But also be able to invest in the services sector. Services sector is so wide. That is tourism, that's the border, that is the marketing online, all of those. And also your service is also under the services sector. But also be able to tap into the ICT. The ICT should help us more in the service sector and the service delivery. Most importantly, to make sure there is guided development but also make sure there is balanced development in the country.
Okay.
Those are our challenges.
We just ended the Chisanja Hakuna Mchezo, now tutakiwa in the future. Did you really think we had a Chisanja Hakuna Mchezo or we had a Mchezo Hakuna Chisanja? Did we really mean business, or even in a Chisanja Hakuna Mchezo we actually played the Mchezo?
In the Chisanja Hakuna Mchezo, like the president has said, we were able to increase on issues to do with the agricultural products. We increased on food, increased on agricultural products, but we didn't do enough in terms of marketing within Uganda and outside Uganda. So in this time we are going to make sure that we increase on the purchasing power of Ugandans by enabling them to be able to produce and have income, so that we first consume, and what cannot be consumed by the Ugandans is what we export. So it was Chisanja Hakuna Mchezo because productivity went up. But we need to do more on issues of marketing, both internally and externally. So as we secure the future, we secure the future of the Ugandans, but also work together with the neighboring countries, the different economic blocks, to be able to have a marshal to secure the future of Ugandans, of Africans as a bloc, to go and trade with the other blocks.
Very finally, what are those challenges that you think you should start with in this Chisanja that starts today?
The biggest challenge are the busy bodies in government, busy bodies in ministries, people who occupy offices but don't want to work, don't take decisions. They delay to take decisions. These are issues that we must deal with, because they breed corruption. They breed discontent in the minds of the people, and it also creates isolation of different people from the majority. Yet we need everybody to benefit from the taxpayers' money.
Okay. Thank you so much. The Honorable Justin Kasule Lumumba, Secretary General of the National Resistance Movement. We thank you so much, Madam. Of course, as you can see, we are seeing off presidents living one by one in that way, and of course finally their host President Museveni, but as you can see the band is performing, finally seeing off one by one the different heads of states who have been here. Back to my sister Anna Mwasioke from TBC in Tanzania, whom we've been with live here in Kololo. Karibu.
Asante sana Jagenda kwa kuendelea na ushirikiano mzuri kati ya TBC pamoja na UBC katika matangazo haya ya moja kwa moja kutoka viwanja hivi ambavyo vimefanyika hafla hii ya kuapishwa kwa Rais Yoweri Kaguta Museveni hapa Kampala, Uganda. Mengi yamefanyika hapa, lakini naendelea kunukuu baadhi ya mambo muhimu ambayo yamezungumzwa na Rais Yoweri Kaguta Museveni wa Uganda, wakati akisisitiza zaidi kuhusu umoja wa Afrika na namna ambavyo Afrika nguvu zikiunganishwa pamoja basi mengi mazuri yanaweza kutokea, akijaribu kutaja baadhi ya mataifa ambayo hali ya usalama si nzuri sana, akiendelea kusisitiza kwamba ni muhimu kwa Afrika kuendelea kuunganisha pamoja ili kuhakikisha hali ya usalama inakaa sawa. Akajaribu kutaja Libya, lakini pia alitaja Chad, alitaja mataifa kama Algeria pamoja na mengineyo ambayo hali haijakaa sawa. Akasema ni nani sasa wa kuhakikisha hali inakaa sawa huko? Ni Waafrika wenyewe. Hakuna mtu mwingine ambaye anaweza kutoka kokote akahakikisha mambo yamekaa sawa, na hakuna mtu mwingine ambaye anaweza kusisitiza kwamba Afrika iko vizuri isipokuwa Wanaafrika wenyewe. Akazungumza pia kuhusu masuala ya husuyo chanjo, na akasema kwamba chanjo zinaweza kutoka nje mara moja mara mbili, lakini baada ya hapo Afrika inatakiwa kufanya mambo yake yenyewe. Akisisitiza kwamba Uganda itahakikisha inatengeneza chanjo yenyewe ili kuhakikisha mambo yanakaa sawa na kuondokana na utegemezi kabisa wa mataifa yaliyo nje ya Afrika. Hii ni ishara kwamba huyu ni mwanamajumui kweli kweli wa Afrika, na akiendelea kuwasisitiza wenzake, huku akitaja baadhi ya mambo mengi ambayo yametokea katika historia ya Afrika, hususan kwa watu ambao hawafahamu viongozi ambao ndio hasa waasisi wa mataifa ya Afrika. Umoja, mshikamano na upendo ndio hasa linasisitizwa kuhusu Afrika, na namna ambavyo Uganda imepiga hatua katika maeneo mbalimbali, ikiwa ni pamoja na swala zima la uchumi kwa kutegemea nguvu zake yenyewe na ushirikiano wa Afrika kwa ujumla. Mwenzangu Jagenda anaendelea kuzungumza na wana Uganda hapa ili kufahamu hisia zao kuhusu tukio kubwa la kuapishwa kwa Rais Yoweri Kaguta Museveni katika kipindi kingine cha miaka 5, yani kuanzia 2021 mpaka 2026.
Asante sana dada Anna Mwasioke kutoka TBC Tanzania. Jage anasema kula here now with the Honorable Kaduchu, our Primary Health Minister, just right here. Your observation, Honorable Minister, having been here, and of course somebody, all our viewers would love to know that this has actually happened scientifically amidst this pandemic. Do you think we've done our best in ensuring that we keep and observe the SOPs that you put to us, and that after here you are not going to blame us for flouting them?
Thank you so much. I first of all want to take this opportunity to congratulate our president in this new term of office, and I congratulate the entire people of Uganda upon this great milestone in the history of Uganda. I think as a country we've done very well, and it has really put us in the map of the world. And now, of course, in terms of COVID-19, I want to state categorically clear that much as people have been called across the districts in Uganda, they have tested for coronavirus, they were all negative, and they have observed standard operating procedures. Most importantly, everybody is on face masks. And everybody has really taken care of her hand hygiene. And given the fact that we did not take the whole day long, the duration we've been here, roughly 3 to 4 hours, that cannot really say that we can get infection thereafter. This has been the best organization ever. And I want to thank the organizers. I want to congratulate the Ministry of Health leadership, because they have given us the leadership in terms of guiding the population, in terms of ensuring that everybody who is right here in Kololo has been tested for COVID-19 and is negative.
Okay. Away from what has just happened here, let's talk about the new variant for COVID. What's the stake like? How are we performing, and where are we as a country with the new variant for COVID-19?
In fact, the fact stands that we have registered a new variant of COVID-19 in Uganda. The variant we have in South Africa, the one in UK, and the one from India. But the fact that even if we have registered, that does not mean that we deviate from the basic. We still call upon the Ugandans to observe the same SOP. We have to observe standard operating procedure in terms of social distancing, face mask, and hand hygiene. The most important thing is our capacity in terms of surveillance. We've put in place surveillance system in the laboratory. That's why we are able to detect this variant very fast. The fact that we have a strong system, we have put a resilient healthcare system, and we are strengthening it day by day, so that at any time, any moment, we can detect the different variants that comes into Uganda, and we can inform our people, put intervention, and we move as a country together.
Okay. Are we on the right trajectory in as far as producing our own vaccine is concerned?
Uganda is one of the African countries that has taken a bold decision through the leadership of our president. Of course, very many will not believe that Uganda can produce a vaccine, but the fact that we made a bold step and come up with a decision that we produce our own vaccine, that alone sounds a very clear message to the world. So we are on the right track. We are moving well. It's a clinical trial. It's a process. It goes through stages 1, 2, 3. So we are on the right track. An appropriate time we shall inform the country on how far we are going and the results we have.
Very finally, away from the COVID-19 pandemic that came to us, where do you think the Ministry of Health or the health sector would have been had we not had COVID-19 get into this country last year?
I think without COVID-19, we would have really excelled as a sector. We will have scored close to 90%. And of course, there are few issues which are still in the health sector in terms of stealing our drugs, issues of corruption, absenteeism, and probably still there are challenges which are still a few. But by and large, we've really done a lot. We've put infrastructures, we've put invested in human resource, we've put in place most especially strengthening the healthcare system to be resilient and robust, so that in terms of getting any other infection in the country, we are able to contain. But I want to make this clear. Uganda has set record over years in terms of containing infection. We have been really marked among the best in Africa, in the world, in terms of fighting infections. The story of Ebola, cranial hemorrhagic fever, the yellow fever, and many other infections that came into Uganda. And through those experiences over time, we've put in place strong system, strong human resource, which is in position to contain this virus. Nevertheless, we are still integrating healthcare service delivery, COVID and other health related, so that we do not leave other diseases isolated.
Congratulations, and I want to thank you so much, Honorable.
Na mtazamaji wa TBC, ni gari hiyo hivi sasa iliyombeba Rais wa Tanzania Samia Suluhu Hassan ikiondoka katika uwanja maalum eneo la Kalolo, Kampala, Uganda, eneo ambalo yalikuwa kifanyika shughuli maalum ya kuapishwa kwa Rais Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, Rais wa Uganda ambaye ameiongoza Uganda tangu kutulia kwa siasa za Uganda mwaka 1986 baada ya kufurushwa aliyekuwa dikteta Nduli Idi Amin aliyotangulia na serikali iliyofuatwa tena na Milton Obote na Yoweri Kaguta Museveni kuingia madarakani. Kumbuka huyo alikuwa ni askari wa msituni aliyoshiriki kutafuta suluhu na uhuru wa taifa hilo, lakini pia utulivu wa Uganda. Ameishi msituni sana na amekuwa katika harakati za ukombozi wa Uganda kwa muda mrefu. Na baada ya kuingia 86 akaendelea, na baadaye Uganda ikaja katika mageuzi ya kuruhusu vyama vingi. Chaguzi wa vyama vingi zimeendelea, bado ameendelea kupewa kipaumbele, ama wapiga kura wameendelea kumpa nafasi, na uchaguzi uliofanyika mapema mwaka huu bado ulimpa fursa tena Rais Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, na hii leo ameapishwa. Katika hotuba yake amezungumza namna ambavyo Afrika inaweza kusimama na kujitegemea, na kusema kuwa hakuna namna yoyote ile ya kuleta maendeleo katika bara la Afrika isipokuwa Waafrika wenyewe kukubaliana, kufunga mkaja na kuchapa kazi. Amezungumza swala ambalo lina msingi sana kwa Waafrika na kuhamasisha Waafrika kuchapa kazi, na amesema kuchapa kazi ndio msingi wa kuhakikisha kwa taifa hili linapiga hatua, linafika mbali zaidi. Basi tuna la ziada kutoka Kampala, Uganda, ambapo tulikuwa ni matangazo mubashara yakiwa pamoja na shirika la utangazaji Uganda UBC na shirika la utangazaji Tanzania TBC. Watangazaji wetu walikuwa ni Jagenda Semakula wa UBC na Ana Mwasioke wa TBC. Mimi naitwa Amini Anthony Mgeni. Asante kwa kuwa nasi, endelea kuifuatilia TBC kwa taarifa za uhakika zaidi.
Kwa zaidi ya miongo 6 sasa, tumeendelea kuwa vinara wa habari na matukio.
Hii ni TBC Taifa.
Hii ni TBC FM.
And this is TBC International.
Tukikutangazia moja kwa moja
from the city of Dar es Salaam. Habari za kitaifa,
international news, burudani na michezo.
Tunakufikia
popote ulipo Tanzania.
TBC, ukweli na uhakika.
Katika kipindi cha Mizani wiki hii tutakuwa na mhandisi Amos William Maganga, mkurugenzi mkuu wa wakala wa nishati vijijini REA, tukizungumzia mikakati ya serikali kufikisha umeme vijijini. Usikose kipindi hiki kitakachokujia mbashara, kikiendeshwa na Dr. Ayubu Rioba Chacha. Ni Jumatano tarehe 12 mwezi wa 5 mwaka 2021 kuanzia